Live?
We are now. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Claremont Speedway's third edition of Facebook Live with our 2016 Rookies of the Year from last year. George Powers on my left side, Steve Furlong on my right. He'll be answering your questions, so send your questions into our four panelists tonight. We'll have them answer any questions on the table. Feel free to ask them whatever you like. To my left, we have the Super Street Rookie of the Year, Hayden Scott. The Wildcats Rookie of the Year, Samantha Stoddard. The Limited Sportsman Rookie of the Year, Kenny Thompson. And our Modified Rookie of the Year, and I got our Most Improved Driver as well, Dylan Rock. So welcome, thank you for joining us tonight, guys. Appreciate it. Got a nice crowd tonight, too, here at Daddy's Pizza in Claremont, New Hampshire. We want to thank Pat and Ellen and Ashley for hosting us. This is our third edition of Facebook Live, as we said. So we appreciate them having us here tonight. I need my notes.
You need your notes?
I know, yeah. I need
Give
my
them
notes.
that.
So the four rookies are here. They're nice enough to join us. Next week we'll have another guest as well. So let's go around the room first. Hayden, when did you start racing? We can ask the same question to all four drivers. When did you get into racing?
The first full season was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, and you started in the Wildcat division? And you moved up from there, I think, was it 2015? You had 10 wins, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And then we moved up to the Super Street class.
Yep. Samantha?
Last year was my first year in the Wildcats.
Last year was your first year in the Wildcats? First time ever behind a race car? Wow. Well, you had a good year. Kenny?
Last year was my first year as well.
Yep. A lot of first-time drivers here between Samantha and Kenny ever get behind the wheel of a car and had a great year. And then Dylan, how many years have you been racing?
This will be my 9th this year.
9th year?
Yeah.
And what did you start in?
Tiger Sprint at Sugar Hill Speedway.
Yep.
So, yeah, I've been racing ever since, pretty much.
Was this your first year driving a modified?
My second.
Second?
Yeah.
You know, going around just looking at some stats from last year with Hayden on the left side, he finished 6th in points last year, so he made the jump from the 4 cylinders to the 8. A little bit of a transition for you. The first, if you look at your numbers from the first part of the year to the second part, your last 4 races, you had a 3rd, a 7th, a 6th, and a 5th. So your only podium of the year. That's going to propel you heading into this season.
Yeah, the end of the season definitely went a lot better than the beginning.
What was the difference?
Learning how to drive the car.
Yep.
And learning how to adjust it and what it's going to react to more and less. And just getting a feel for between the pit crew and I, and me being able to explain what the car's doing and knowing what to do to change it in the right direction.
Yep. And then Samantha, you finished 6th in points as well, I believe. Yep. You had 4 top 5s. You had 12 top 10s, 1 third. So your podium, but you didn't get to enjoy because of a disqualification. I think you finished 4th. Your average finish of the year was 8 1/4. But you finished the season with 4 top 10s, and you had to change cars. I think the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. Was there a difference between the two cars for you?
Our new car is definitely a lot faster.
A lot faster, yeah.
Our old car handled a little bit better, but that's only because it was a little bit slower instead of faster.
Yep. And then Kenny, the first year racing for you, you finished 4th in points. You earned the nickname this year, Hot Stuff, because of that. I think it was week.
You want to tell us a little bit
Yeah,
about
tell us
that?
about, yeah, how did you feel about that?
That was pretty scary. Wasn't really sure what was going on at first, and then I looked over and there was fire everywhere, so it was pretty scary. But
Did you ever find out who it was that forgot to put that cover on?
I'm not gonna say any names, but we did find out who it was.
You did?
Yeah.
And are they still in your pit crew?
No.
Yeah, you guys gotta really speak up so everyone can hear you.
Yeah.
So make sure you speak up. And so you had your first win on June 10th this year, and as a race fan, I think for Georgia, it's awesome to see someone new this year win. Same with Dylan, same boat, first win in the modified. Kenny, you had 7 top 5s, 14 top 10s, the 1 win you had a 3rd, so 2 podiums this year. How do you feel your season went as your first year behind the car? Were you happy with it?
I was pretty happy with my first year. A couple nights could have gone a lot better, but overall, pretty good first year.
Yep.
Louder. Yell.
Loud.
Everybody yell. You gotta.
And then Dylan finishes 5th in points this year. He had three top 5s, 8 top 10s. You had 1 win, which was September 9th. And then you had a 3rd as well to close out the season that you really wanted, that last podium.
Yeah.
Your average finish this year was 7th. So you obviously are happy with how you've progressed as a driver from the start to the end of the year?
Yeah, I definitely noticed there was a lot of improvement and stuff, and I learned a lot this year. I was happy with it overall. I wish the beginning of the season went a little bit better, but we put the tour motor in this year, and it definitely woke the car up. And
Yeah, so they basically trusted you. Giving you a little more power.
Yeah, my grandfather, we started out, well, initially 2 years ago, we planned on running the car at Monadnock, and we ended up going to Claremont because they brought the mods back, and I kind of just like floundered around really. And then we went to Monadnock, and I like started 17th or so and finished 5th, and that's when like everything started to come to me a little bit. And then we kind of just took all that and threw it out the window and threw the tour motor in, and it was definitely a learning curve for sure.
Yep.
So overall, it was a good year, but some things could have went a whole lot better.
And all 4 of you come from racing families. So you grew up watching it or around it all the time. Is that what made you become a racer? All of you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hayden's uncle Mark Blair, the Outlaw races. He's all registered for this year too, so you're going to race against him. You race against your cousin Ryan.
Yep.
So it's a family affair in the super streets. Samantha's father Paul raced as well. Pro stocks, right? Yep. Kenny's
Ian Mudbog.
Oh, that's really?
Yeah, Mudbog.
Oh, no kidding. And then Kenny's father, Ken, raced in 2015, took 2016 off, which put Kenny in the car because he had to have surgery. And then Ken Sr. is going to be driving a Super Street this year. And then, of course, Dylan's grandfather is Jack Bateman, for those that don't know.
Who's Jack Bateman?
Jack Bateman knows you.
Jack's a great guy.
Yeah. So it's interesting just to see, the family lineage. And it happens a lot at Claremont Speedway. I mean, George can probably talk to that more about seeing grandfathers and sons and then grandsons or granddaughters driving. It happens all the time, I would assume.
We have a lot of 2nd and 3rd generation drivers. You look at Ernie Boudreau, to Sean Boudreau, to Dylan Boudreau, the Bly family, the Karen family. There's just so many of them that have graduated down through,
Yeah. Hayden, who sponsors? We'll give you an opportunity to thank your 2016 sponsors publicly too. I knew you had a ton of them. Why don't you holler into that microphone and let everyone know who got you? I mean, I think I blew over your stats. You had two top 5s, 15 top 10s in the 3rd. Your average finish was 8.12.
Yeah, how did he end up with an average finish of 812? I didn't think we had that many cars.
I forgot the decimal point. We will this year. The Super Streets this year, you have to qualify this year probably in the Super Streets.
I'm glad we have to race for it.
And who are your sponsors that helped you last year?
We had Thompson Excavation, Peabody's Electric, Blair Auto Salvage, Rocky Mountain Speedworks, Rob's Fix the Shop, Indy Speed, Whiskey Pine Property Maintenance, Sheer Innovations, Metcalf Motorsports, Rockingham Shell, Alarm Co, Jewel Excavation. I'm sure there's more. There's a lot there.
yeah. Your mother's over. Yeah. You missed a couple. She's setting them right there, so everyone can see them right on the Facebook Live feed. Samantha, who were your sponsors last year?
I had Jason Carrera Trucking, Party Time DJ Service, my dad, Stoddard's Auto Service, WCFR Radio, Josh King Electric. I can remember right now.
That's all right. I know I put you on the spot. I probably should have given you guys little notes as to what I was going to ask you. That way you could.
That's no fun.
I know. That's the exact point of it. This is more for you and I than anybody else.
Wait till we ask him to sing.
Yeah. Kenny, who helped you last year?
I used thanks to Commissioners Garage. They were probably our biggest sponsor all year, and Larson's Property Maintenance, Blair Auto Salvage, Flippers Photos, Fuller Machine, KT's Undercoating.
Yep. And Dylan?
I just had Jack's Competition Engines and WA Builders. That's all we had. We didn't really have too many, but our tour and everything kind of helps out too. So
When you get Jack's Competition Engines, that's a pretty, you don't need a lot to go with that.
And you, all four of you are registered for this year. You're all coming back. You all are going to run full seasons with us? Yep. Awesome. That's great. It's good for the sport. Any questions right now from any fans out there?
No, not really. Just Mike Willis is here, and he said that Dylan Rock's the future of the sport, and he's going to be a force to reckon with this year.
yeah, thanks, Mikey.
No pressure there.
Yeah. Until he wrecks them or something, I just lost my train of thought.
It was a short train. Just an engine and a caboose. That's all it was.
Hayden, we talked to explain to us, you had 10 wins in 4 cylinders, and then you made the jump. And then you had that rough first part of the season. What was going through your mind? Did you have thoughts? Were you second-guessing your decision to move up, or?
We were discouraged, definitely. I don't think we weren't willing to give up. It was definitely tough coming off of such a successful season.
Yep.
But a lot of it was just when the car could do and what we were trying to do with it and where I wanted it, because I didn't really know where I wanted it until it was loose.
Yep.
It was just a lot of a learning curve for us, and getting used to being pushed out of the corners so cold. And so you started coming around and learning the car. Actually, it worked out pretty well towards the end. So.
Yeah, because you're right in the front. Plus, you had a beautiful car, too. It always looked sharp.
We need to get signs out there that say, louder, louder.
Yeah, make sure you guys scream in the microphone.
When your mom can't hear you, Hayden, you're not talking loud enough.
She ain't paying attention.
Oh, she's messaging
Oh,
us
she
all
was.
here. She's paying attention. Samantha, you had a couple of hard hits this year. In fact, you had bruises on your shoulder from your safety harness. Did you second guess racing at all, or?
No, I was more mad than anything because I didn't get to finish that night, and it set me back in points.
Yep.
It scared me a little. I was kind of hesitant to go back out, but I was more mad that I didn't get to finish.
Yep. And and Kenny, you had that obviously the fire incident, but then you won that first race, and you were strong. Strong up to that point. It was just a matter of time. And I think Gary Coburn finished behind you. I think Gary Coburn was more happy that you won than anybody else in the whole venue. What did it mean for you to get your first win? Your father comes down. Your father was obviously, he was emotional too. I mean, what did it mean to you?
That was just amazing. I mean, couldn't have happened at a better time too. To come off that fire.
Yep.
Show everyone that I'm not scared to come back, And it was so cool to win that night, and it was so cool.
Yep. And then Dylan, same sort of question for you. You had, was it Russ Hersey? Was that who was trailing you?
Yeah, Russ and Kurt. So.
Yeah, and you had your grandfather on. And that was probably that was the smoothest race you ran all year.
Yeah. I knew I could get out front and lead some laps, but with about 15 to go, I kind of saw the black and blue kind of darting, and I was like, "Here comes Russ!" And I figured they were gonna blow by me, but I was able to hang on to it. So I was happy. I was just kind of more in shock than anything, and I was able to do it.
The expectations for 2017. I mean, Hayden, what are your expectations heading into the season? Are you looking for a win? Are you looking to qualify? Are you looking to increase your podiums?
Every year we always give ourselves a goal. 2 years ago we said we wanted 10 wins, and we ended up getting that. Last year we wanted top 10 points, and we got that. So I think a win would be nice this year.
Yep.
We really talked about it. Usually last minute thing, we show up at the track and say, yeah, we want to win, or we want top 10. for. And, I think the win will be really nice this year.
Yep. Samantha?
I just want to beat all the boys.
Just wants to meet all the boys, in case you guys didn't hear that at home. I think you just won like 50 fans or something, just like on at home. Well, you're competitive enough to do it. And, you were at the track, I think, every Wednesday night for practice. The number of laps you logged, probably to understand how your car handles, and the fact you had to have two cars too, you put the effort in, at least. I mean, are you happy with where you are now as a driver, or what do you have to learn?
I feel like we met the full potential of our old car.
Yep.
So it was time to get the faster car. So I'm hoping we can make the full potential of this car too.
I have a question for you, Samantha. Your dad always looked that serious.
Kenny, what are your expectations heading in? I mean, you had to win. You had another podium, so you had two top threes, fourth in points. I mean, the only, Gary Coburn's retired. So, I mean, are you looking to improve on your fourth in points?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to improve our points position at the end of the year. Looking for hopefully a top 3 in points and get some more wins.
Yep.
A couple less DNFs.
Are you worried that your father's going to have his own car now, that he's not going to be able to help? Although you did a lot of the work on your own car anyway, right? Your father would tell you what to do and you did a lot of the work?
I did a lot of it, and I think because we're in 2 different divisions, I think we'll still be able to help each other out.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to seeing him race again. It's always fun to watch. So.
Let me ask you something, Ken. Do you wish your dad was racing in your division this year so you could show him how it's done?
I don't know. I don't think I want him racing my division because he probably showed me up most of the time.
Would you just like that chance to put the bumper to him once? Let him know?
Dylan, same question. I mean, what are your expectations heading into the year?
I just want to be consistent. Like Nick Boven proved it last year that if you're consistent every week, you came so close to winning a championship. And we weren't bad towards the end of the year, but the first half of the year it was like the first race was like a 9th and then a 7th and then like an 8th and a 6th, and like I'd like to finish up front and be just consistent every week. That's all I'm looking for.
Yep. Any questions at all, Steve, from the fans out there? Any questions, folks? Send them on in.
Connor Swain must be a friend of
Connor,
because he's blowing up.
Oh, Connor Swain?
Yeah.
Is that a friend of you, Kenny? All right, he's single-handedly taking over our feed, so we're going to thank him tomorrow. 3 of you, Hayden, you're the old man of the bunch here because 3 of them are juniors in high school.
I know, I'm going to have to retire soon.
What other hobbies do you guys all have, or what sports do you play in high school for the 3 down there, or what other activities are you involved with? Hayden, you look at snowmobile, right?
Yeah, it was snowmobile race throughout the winter. This year we haven't done too much of it, but snowmobile, really worked on the car most of the winter.
So you race snowmobiles? Yep. Do you do it?
Same old Clyde series.
Yep.
Like I said, this year we haven't really made many. I went down to 1 and we ended up finishing first at 600 open and 700 open. So it was a good week, a good weekend for us.
Yep.
Someone was made this year.
Okay. Samantha.
When it doesn't really conflict with racing, I play soccer.
You do?
And I work on the car with my dad.
Yep. Kenny?
No, I don't really do a whole lot else. I play saxophone, probably not as much as I should.
Well, we're going to put you with Joey Jarvis so you guys can do the national anthem for us. You're involved with Boy Scouts, or yeah, and do you cross country ski at all or anything like that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
How far have you been across the country?
And Dylan, I know you. Well, Dylan right now, folks, is recuperating from an ACL injury he suffered playing basketball. He was more worried. He wasn't worried about getting back on the court. He's more worried about driving the car. The doctor said he's fine. He counted on his fingers, said he was good to go. I mean, what other sports do you?
I would have played baseball, and I skied in the winter, which I didn't really get to at all this year. But
Clutch like, bud.
yeah.
You told him you did that playing basketball?
Yeah.
You told me you were raking leaves and fell out of a tree.
Yeah, no, but I ski and stuff, and then I like work on the car if I'm not doing that stuff. So it's been a tough off season so far, but we're getting back into the swing of things. So hopefully it'll be a good year.
Mentor-wise, who do you feel you learn the most from?
Well, I wouldn't be in this if it weren't for my uncle and family, but I feel like I learn the most when I go and sit on the fence and watch the guys that I'm racing against. And the big ones, Aaron Fellows, I learn a lot just watching him.
Yep. What do you learn? What do you learn watching Aaron race?
Just watching where he hits his marks and where he's getting back on it, and when he gets in traffic, what he's doing.
Yep.
And go and talk to him a little bit here and there, and it's usually all pretty good advice from him. But I feel as a driver, I've learned the most just from watching other drivers, watching the experience.
When you're watching Aaron, you learn what not to do when you're in front of him.
Yeah, exactly. How not to get passed by him.
Samantha, your father, is that, or is there other drivers that you look up to that this year that you've worked with?
My dad and Alex Poison actually helped us a ton this season.
Did he?
He helped set up our car. He helped make us faster.
And Alex Poison this year is moving up to the Super Streets as well. He'll hopefully be a future guest on this Facebook Live as well. Kenny, your father, I would assume, and anyone else, any other drivers that help you?
Yeah, I learned most from my dad, definitely, and I learned a lot from Gary Colburn, and learned a little bit from Scott Bien, too.
Yep.
I mean, I like to follow Gary in practice, and I mean, I've learned a lot just following him. So.
And last week we had Scott Bien on, and he actually commented how you and Tyler Janowski are some up-and-coming drivers who were very happy with the seasons you guys had. Dylan, I assume your grandfather's been a good influence on you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I go like when I don't go out for like a round of practice, I go and generally watch Dwight go around because he knows the place very well. So I go and watch him, and I watch Joey, and I watch just fast guys pretty much and see what they do, and following them helps a lot too. So, and actually Sean Boudreau, I followed him. And when we did the Twin 30s deal, I followed him, and that helped a lot too. So there's a couple guys.
Anything from out there, Steve?
No, but Linda Thompson must be his mother, I assume. Kenny's going to River Valley Tech and Engineering program.
Oh, and you left work to come here today, race to get here. Yep. Talk about that a little bit.
I'm learning CNC programming and running CNC machines and stuff like that. I like it a lot.
Do you? Is that what you're looking possibly to do because you still have your senior year ahead of you, right?
Yeah.
So is that what you're possibly going to do after? Is that your?
Yeah. Looking at mechanical engineering and CNC programming and stuff like that.
So they do all that at River Valley? I thought they taught fishing.
Hayden, how have you felt? I mean, you raced for a couple of years. How have you felt you've matured as a driver? I didn't see you when you first started. George probably did. George may know better than I, but obviously he does.
What's George think? Because I'd like to hear that, actually.
Are you sure?
I'm interested, actually. As a driver, well, with the Wildcats, I wasn't even gonna. I went up to an open show the first year I had my car, and I blew it up. And I was like, all right, well, that was a quick season, or a quick career, and I wasn't gonna do anything else with it. And actually, Cody Sabins and Josh Rondo told me, bring your car over to the shop. I had a spare motor sitting there, but they were like, bring it over, we're putting a motor. Okay, so I brought it over there, and I started my first season 4 weeks late because of that.
Yep.
And that first season, it was always go out there and you race with Josh and Cody, and you know it's not just going to be a pass. They got to touch you somehow, one way or another. They got to at least let you know that they're going by or you're going by. But there's just a lot getting used to. But going to now, you get used to that. You get a touch and rub. It's something you actually look forward to.
Hayden, going from the front wheel drive to rear wheel drive, what did you have to unlearn?
That 3 and 4 sucks.
We talked about that last week.
Yes, I did.
3 and 4 definitely sucks in the rear wheel drive from the front wheel drive. Take whatever you know from that corner and just throw it out the window. And when you start to spin out, don't just put it to the floor. No, there's pros and cons to it. I enjoy the rear wheel drive a lot more than the front. I don't know. It's really just backwards, really, compared to what you're used to. The first couple of times out there is getting pushed instead of pulled, and I wasn't used to that. So.
You made a good recovery.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to this year. It could be a lot better.
Samantha, for you, the way you started or where you ended, where do you feel you are?
I feel like I improved a lot.
You
At
did.
the beginning of the season, I had no clue what I was doing. I went around the inside of the track the whole time. Now I feel like I'm getting a lot better. Hopefully this season will be a lot better.
Are you looking to eventually move up right now? I mean, do you have a plan?
I want to try to move up after this year, but we'll see where I'm at.
Yeah. Did your father give you, I mean, does he give you constructive criticism? I mean, or does he let you do your thing? I mean, how is the relationship there?
Yeah, a lot of times he'll be telling me. Sometimes I don't listen, and I learn if I don't. We'll have other people come help.
Yep. And Kenny, are your thoughts are you happy where you are? Or would you like to move up to another division possibly, eventually over time? I mean, you guys are still young enough. You have your whole careers. All of you guys can do anything you want. So, I mean, have you thought about what you want to do?
Yeah. Depending on how this year goes, I might be moving up a class next year and see what happens.
Yep.
And, pretty happy with how I improved over the year. Wish I had listened to my dad a little bit more instead of arguing.
It's like a common theme here.
Hey, Ken?
Shaking down the super street for you next
No. Last year when the street stock tour come by, you guys decided to take that week off. Do you ever wish you'd have run with that group just for the experience? Or, I mean, I know your dad was in the stands at night cheering for a good friend of his that came over from the coast, who ended up getting the. He just told me I'm number one. But would have you liked to have driven against that crew just for the experience? Or do you think you weren't ready yet?
I definitely wasn't ready at that point, but if it had been later in the year, I would have liked to have run with them just to get some more experience with a little faster cars and some more experienced guys.
And then, Dylan, you obviously, I mean, as far as our divisions go, you're at the top. Are you going to run some tour races this year too, I would assume?
Yeah, we plan on it. I think April 22nd we might go down to Stafford and test there and stuff. So we'll see. Yeah, we plan, we'll run Speedway 51 and Lee, and that might be it for this year. And Claremont, of course.
Yeah, Claremont race.
Yeah, we'll run some tour stuff, but not all of it. I'll stick to Claremont for now.
Hayden, is Claremont the only track you've raced at?
I went down in that. Well, I blew my car up at Canaan in the heat race, which we're doing really well with. But then I went down to Monadnock once, and we didn't have the race set up.
Yep.
So we kind of floundered down there. We ran in the mini stock pass with Wildcat. But other than that, yeah, Claremont's good.
Samantha, you've only raced at Claremont, correct? Kenny, Claremont. Have you raced anywhere else? Dylan? Monadnock, right?
Claremont, Monadnock, Speedway 51, Lee, and that's it for now. That's it for now. So, yeah, I've been to a few. But
Are you looking forward to Stafford? A little bigger.
Yeah. My grandpa said it's kind of similar to Claremont, the way you enter the corner and stuff. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not too worried about it, but it's definitely a little nerve-wracking because it's a big place. So long straightaways and tight corners, but I'm excited.
Questions? Any questions? Just a bunch of comments. Yeah, Connor's all over you. You guys have to go back and watch this all over again. Competition for the upcoming year in your division. Who are the drivers to be? You guys probably know better than we do because of social media. Who's coming back? Who's not? We just know who's registered. For you, who are you worried about most?
I mean,
Or are you?
I don't want to say we're worried about
Yep.
it. Yeah, I mean, there's so many, and I'd rather go out there and have to earn it.
Yep.
I don't want to go out there and just go to the front. I'd rather race for it. And that's the Super Street class. I definitely class that. You see that. And there's 20 cars every week. And it sounds like more this year. It's going to be fun. So,
Yep.
You say you're not worried. I heard the 3-car was gunning for you.
I know, isn't it? Target on my back.
Samantha?
I'm not too worried. I was pretty equal with everyone at the end of the season last year.
Yep. Kenny, who's your competition?
I feel like I'm running good every week, but Tyler Janowski and Mike Burke, if he comes back, probably going to be my biggest competition this year.
Yep. Dylan?
Joey. Him. I don't know if Scotty Mack, is he coming back this year?
I believe he is.
Yeah, he hasn't registered yet. Scotty, if you're out there, we really would love to have you back. So
He seemed to finish up there every week, and of course Dana, he kind of put a clinic on everybody at the end of the year.
Yep.
And Russ, and I think you'll see Sammy. I think Sammy will be this year, so I think you'll see him up there too. So.
Mike Wallace still.
Oh yeah, and Mike. I forgot about him.
Does
Yeah.
anybody know if Dwight's coming back this year?
I talked to Joey the other day, and I don't think he is.
No.
No. He might bring his own car a couple times, but
Yeah, right now we have
Too
9.
sure.
We've early in the season we have 15 or 16 Super Streets already registered. There's a number of other drivers who still haven't registered. Ryan hasn't registered his car. There's a number of them. I think we are at 9 or 10 Wildcats, I think, and I know there's a ton more that haven't even registered. Limited Sportsman, there's a couple that we know about that are out there that haven't registered yet, and then the modifieds, the same boat. There's a bunch that you just named that haven't registered yet. So we're looking at a great year this year at Claremont Speedway. I think our car counts are going to be excellent. A lot of young, talented drivers here too. I think it's going to be an exciting year. I mean, the first time you got in a car ever, what were you thinking? Like, why am I here? Or what was the adrenaline like? What were your thoughts?
Well, the first time I got in my car or in the hatch up at Canaan, threw that in the corner, it was whoa, we're driving on the road, that's for sure. Actually, totaled the car first corner. Yep. So we got a hook ride pretty quick. You learn from your mistakes.
Yep.
That didn't happen again, so we actually went back and went from 8th to 2nd in the heat race, and the car blew up. So, no, it's the first time's definitely your heart's beating out of your chest and you break through your belts, but it's all good fun though.
Samantha, what was your first time like at that first practice you went out?
That was the day of the car show, so I just wanted to go to the car show, and that's it. Just go home. I had never driven a standard, so that was my first.
Ever?
A couple times in the car, but I wasn't really used to it. So I didn't really want to go out. I went out like 30 miles an hour the whole way inside. But after that, I liked it.
Kenny?
Yeah, I was pretty nervous my first time. I went out. Same deal. I was going pretty slow the first time I went out there. It's a lot of fun. And, I mean, I still get nervous a little bit, but it's not. It's fun once
Yep.
you get out there.
Is it?
You don't notice it.
What do you guys think about when you're driving, other than hearing race command talk to you about, well, you have a spotter. Dylan has a spotter. Sorry, Dylan, what was your first time like? We'll go back to that.
Well, on the modified, I just kind of like hopped in it, and the adrenaline kicked in, and then I just like went out there and drove it, and then like the only goal I have like the first time I hop in something or like in like a new car, especially the mod, was just you need to find your limit, and then on like the 4th lap I looped it, so I found it.
So I mean, when you're driving and no one's talking to you, what are you thinking of? I mean,
Just hitting my marks, focusing on where I'm braking, where I'm turning, where I'm exiting the corner. And, I don't know, just try different things every lap. And when you find where the car feels good, try to hit that mark so many laps in a row. And see what come in and see what the crew says they think and how you think and relate to it. Change it from there.
Yep.
You're the only world.
All right. I can imagine. It was a little different for you because, yeah, someone's chirping in your ears. For the two of you who don't have anyone other than race control telling you where to line up, what's it like for you out there? I mean, do you feel like you're on an island all by yourself trying to get through your 20 to 25 laps, or what do you think about when you're driving?
Pretty much where I need to get my marks and trying to get people out of my way so I can get in front.
Kenny.
I was trying to hit the same place every lap and just be consistent. Think about how I'm going to pass the next person when I get there.
Yep. What advice would the four of you have to someone who's starting out racing? Because you guys have obviously, two of you started this year, two of you have some years under you, so you know. What advice would you give to someone who just wants to? Today we had someone register first year ever in a Wildcat. He's going to race this year. Bought a car from somebody's racing. What advice would you give to someone new pulling in, first time ever at Claremont Speedway? What would you tell him or her?
I tell them to go out, just get a feel for the car, and don't worry about other people. Just worry about yourself being smooth and finding your marks. Because the first time in it, you don't know. You just got to do what feels right and just be smooth every lap. And actually, if you slow down, you go faster.
Sam?
Definitely listen to your fellow racers because you learn a lot.
Did you ever worry they were steering you wrong? Did you? I mean, it's a.
I wasn't really too worried with Alex. He just made sure we got fast, but not fast enough.
Kenny?
Take all the advice you can get and take advantage of the Wednesday practices that help me a ton. I got to get out on Wednesdays before I even started racing, so that helped me a lot. So take advantage of all the practice you can get.
Yeah, in Claremont, I think we have 17 Wednesday practices this year. This is enough time for someone to get some seat time in the car to figure it out. Dylan, what advice do you have? I mean,
you just have to go out and do your own thing, really. You can't, you have to, go out and, watch other people, but at the end of the day, you just have to, run your own race, pretty much. You can't be focused on anything else except that.
My advice should be find somebody that's dumber than you with a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, you've all had a successful season. 2017 is right around. April 7th is the first practice, I think, or April 8th. Yeah, April 8th, first practice.
Bring your snow shovel.
I hope not. Are you all going to be ready for April 8th?
I received a picture today. My locate just cut off, so I don't know.
So Hayden's a question mark.
No, we'll be there. All right. We'll be there.
You're ready. Your car's going to race around this weekend? She hasn't revealed. It's done, and she hasn't revealed what it looks like yet. Are you going to it there? Are you going to post down there a picture of your car, or are you going to wait?
Yeah, probably.
All right. And it looks good? Kenny?
Yeah.
Are you going to be there?
I think the car's going to be ready. It's getting there. I think I'll be ready.
Yep. Dylan, your car?
I'm pretty sure one of the two cars will be there.
Yep.
Probably the other one because we got a brand new car this year.
So you found that guy with the bankroll.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number.
He'll give you his card later. Anything, Steve?
No, other than Connor Sway still born.
Gary Coburn's on.
Can't win a race without finishing, it says Gary Coburn.
That's true.
It is.
Yep.
You want some?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Good. I only got one
Steve,
piece.
did they have men's hats where you got that thing? Is that Kurt Busch?
No, it isn't.
Who is it?
Truex.
Okay, it's a good hat. Never mind. I couldn't see the number of it.
Bush.
That's It's amazing how many younger drivers we have at the track too. Hey, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Yeah.
I'll be 17 tomorrow.
17 tomorrow. I know.
Happy birthday.
You're the old man, man. Okay, you're
17.
Dylan?
17.
So this is the future.
24.
This is the future of racing at Claremont Speedway, folks. So we hope you join us this year, 2017. Opening night is April 28th. Great car counts this season. It's going to be very competitive in the Super Streets, the Wildcats as well, Limited Sportsman, and our modified divisions. So we hope you decide to join us this year. And we want to thank Daddy's Pizza for hosting us here tonight. And we'll be back here next week. Our guest next week will be Cody Sabins, 2016 Wildcat champion. We'll talk to him about what he plans to do this upcoming season, because no one knows, and I'm hoping Cody will let us in on his little secret world here. So thank you very much for watching tonight. We'll be back here next week.